Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad to hear on this Friday morning. Got a big show lined up. We're going to give away some seafood, talk about what you can do this weekend for having a good time. But first, our weather, brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. High today, 86, low 66 degrees. I love this cool morning weather we've been having. How about the water temperatures at 86 degrees also? So it's leveled off this week. It hasn't gotten too hot or anything, so it's been a good reading. Let's look at the river readings. The Apalachicola at Bluntstown, and it is falling out, and we're down to a 3.8. It did go up a little bit. They opened up the gates a little bit a day or two ago, and now going over to Choctawhatchee. The Choctawhatchee Caryville is at 7.7 and falling out pretty strong. It's been a steady fall, and it's still falling out some more for the weekend. We're going to be falling water on both of them, but not quite as much on the Apalachicola. The tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. We're looking at today is September the 8th on a Friday. We're not having much of a tide, but right in the center, in the middle of the day, and I think I may try this today. And right here in the middle of the day, we got a little bit of bump to it, and I may try that. I really, instead of going early tomorrow morning, I may go this afternoon. Okay, but we'll see. If you can do that when you're retired, you don't have to work around your schedule, okay? So anyway, now the marine forecast will be northwest at about, we're looking at east and northeast at about 5, okay? The fishing times, let's see our fishing game time brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers, 2:19 to 4:19 this morning, and this afternoon, 2:44 to 4:44. So I may be doing that one, 2:44 to 4:44. I like to mix things up. I like to go early a lot, but sometimes in the afternoon it's good, so we may try that. Let's take our break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. I'm glad you're with us this morning. I just got off the phone with a peer. I'll talk about it more in the fishing report in the last segment, but they did catch a couple of sailfish this week and also catching some bull reds out there, so that's a good report. But like I say, we'll get more in depth about it during our report. One of the things I wanted to talk about with the storms and all on everybody's mind, and we talked about this some during the week with the big storm of 1929. But anyway, the big thing was finding a safe harbor for your boats. Now it's not that hard because now you can go down to Watson Landing over to Miller Marine and get your boat taken out. But a lot of the old timers, they didn't have that flexibility, and what they would do, I'm just going to show you a couple places, and in case you can't go to those two places, a couple places they love to go to, and one I'm going to show you to start about the Tyndall Bridge and a little Pearl Bayou. That's the Tyndall Bridge right there. Do y'all see Pearl Bayou? A lot of the folks on the east side of town, back in the 30s and 40s when the storms would come, they would take their big boats and put them right there in Pearl Bayou because that is a protected area. And in fact, the Davis family, Captain Grover Davis and on his boys, they use that a lot. Pearl Bayou was the #1 choice for putting a boat, to protect it from the hurricanes. Okay, and you see what it is. Also, they would also over in St. Andrews, over in West Bay, they would also go over here to West Bay and just try to get up into the after canal was built, they'd get in the canal. But before that, they would just try to get up here, right here in the center, right there, and just anchor out there. And then one other place, even recently, I remember Captain John Law would go up here around Deer Point. See, that's Deer Point Dam on the right, in the center, and he would get up here in Gaynor Bayou, right there. See Gaynor Bayou? He would get up in there. So anyway, the point of being safe harbor, somewhere to get your boat, because they got a lot invested in those big boats and all, and a lot of people didn't have full insurance. In fact, in the early days, they just didn't have boat insurance. So whatever you did to protect your boat was critical when the big storms came. So I just wanted to let y'all know about that. But now it's pretty easy to go down to Watson Landing, they'll just pick it up and they'll store it for you. But keep in mind, there'll be usually, if one's coming, folks will be in line, and they can only get so many in there too. So anyway, I was thinking, I was talking about the weather. I get tickled about the weather. Our fascination with the weather. And I was trying to figure out, I was thinking last night, why are we so fascinated with weather? I come up with 3 reasons why we're so fascinated and glued to the Weather Channel, or to, trying to, every 10 minutes, trying to find a track of the storm and all on our computers and all, our laptops. But here it is. I come up with 3 reasons. One reason as outdoorsmen, we're more aware of the weather because we're outdoors a lot and we know how it can change and how it can affect our activity. So awareness is one of the reasons we're fascinated with the weather. Reason number 2 is the technology we have now. You can come in on the Weather Channel and man, they can put up these paths and these spaghetti strands, and it's just fascinating watching that. And as it develops, and then also now you get some like real live shots from people inside in the storms and all, trying to get some a lot of amazing video. I mean, I've seen some video this week that's truly amazing. So that just adds to the fascination. But I think the one thing that we are so tied up with and just watch the weather so much and at all times is one thing is something we cannot control. You stop and think about it. I made a list of things we can control. Driving down the road, we can control our truck. We can control what's on TV, flipping it on and off. We control everything, our schedule. We can control most of our things in our life. We can take our boats and do this. But the weather, you can't control it. So here it is out there, and it's going to happen no matter what you do. And you can watch it develop, but you can't control it. Now, you're at the mercy of the weather. So that's one of the few things we can't control in our lives. So you add all those things together, that's why so many of us are so fascinated and get tied in following these storms. And I have since I was a kid, these little thunderstorms and all, and the cumulus clouds and the cirrus clouds and all those. It's just been amazing to me. And then when you have, the epitome of it, of course, would be the hurricane. And when they develop and go through, and we've all experienced them and all, most of us have, and it's just fascinating watching it, like I say, with the technology now. But that's the big reasons we're fascinated with it, I think, because we have no control over it, and no matter what we do, it's going to happen. And all we do is prepare. And we'll talk about getting prepared and all later, but I just want to pass that on to you, okay? Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. I was so fascinated with our fascination of the weather, I forgot to do a drawing last segment, so we're going to do it right now for Sandhill Seafood. It's a big seafood platter, and it is good, I can promise you. That's good food up there, and the winner is going to be Steve Crowder from Fort Gaines, Georgia. That's one of our YouTube viewers. Steve, getting a hold of me and all, let me know when you're going to be down, and I'll certainly call him out there and tell him when you're coming. So good job, Steve Crowder. All right. Fort Gaines, Georgia, that's a good place up there. Now, I was going to also mention, I got a couple of pictures, but before I get to the picture, I want to say good morning to some of these folks who are loyal viewers. It's funny how with the Labor Day weekend, you sort of run into all kind of folks. I told them I was going to say good morning this week, and I about run out of time. I want to say good morning to Eddie Tranum. Ran into him over there at Callaway Walmart. He Air Force veteran, originally from Biloxi, Mississippi. So he recognized me. We just started talking there in the hallway, and his dad and my dad were both World War II veterans, so we started talking about that and had a great talk, and great to have him in our community, Eddie Tranum. Also want to say good morning to Cy and Wendy Eubanks from Bluntstown over at the ball game the other night. They're going to be at the ball game tonight. Bluntstown and Mariana are going to be a good ball game. I appreciate you watching the show and appreciate the loyal viewership over there. And also I want to say Richard Hance. I ran into him at Ace Hardware, St. Joe, and had a good talk with him. He's been watching the show a long time, so we appreciate all the viewership. And if you see me, a lot of times, folks, just sometimes I get focused on going and buy a fishing tackle or something, and I may not see you. So you stop and pull my arm or something. We'll talk about outdoors as long as you want to. Well, until Gail pulls me away, so we got to go because that happens a lot. All right, a couple of pictures here. Now this is from Mexico Beach, Florida's Adventures. Look at here. 37 snap, this is Mitch Coleman, 37 snapper trips this season. Limits on 36. And listen to this, all on MBARA public numbers. Thank you to my customers, MBARA, for another great season. That's Mitch Coleman of Florida's Adventures. Now, you stop and think about that. Limited out on 36 out of 37 trips, limited out on public numbers. That is a huge testimonial to these reefs that we've had put up over there. Good job. All right, next picture right here. Billy Joe. Hey, all right, this is Shannon Newsom sent to him. It's obviously Billy Joe Newsom's catch this last weekend. He and his friends brought home quite a load of fish. They were having quite a time getting through the aggressive snapper to catch other fish. The snapper were like piranha on the bait, and it seemed like all there was out there in the Gulf was snapper. That's the feeling. That's exactly what we've been saying. They were very aggressive. She went on to say the snapper that Billy's holding were so big he had time holding them up to the picture. So proud of my husband, Shannon Newsom. And here's a picture right here. Billy, that's some nice snapper, Billy Joe Newsom. He's quite an outdoorsman, always loved outdoors. All right. And so I got one more picture here. I'm going to read it to you first. Great fishing, catching. This is Joyful Johns from Alexander City, Alabama, and her fiance came to Apalachicola. They got married, which is Joyful's greatest catch along with, but please see her 25-inch redfish while fishing in Apalachicola Bay. Boyd Landry and Joyful Johns, big congratulations. And here's a fish right here, nice redfish. Got married and caught a big redfish in the same weekend. Now that's something, good job there. And thank you, Laura Bush, for sending that. Okay, and what I'm thinking of, we're gonna have on Monday's show, our guest will be Captain Roy Ray, the legendary Captain Roy Ray, who, and I'm gonna say this on Monday for sure, but Captain Roy Ray has caught more speckled trout than anybody around that's still living. He had been catching them since he was a kid and taking people fishing his whole life. And so he's gonna come give us some of his secrets and talk about some couple of stories growing up, and you're gonna enjoy Captain Roy on Monday morning show. Let's move along now. I wrote down a couple of things I want to write about the food plots. Now you start thinking about food plots, and a lot of y'all do them in the late summer and early fall. And keep in mind, in the early fall, is an excellent time to do them. I'm gonna throw one together too, and I just like to piddle around with it. I don't do a heavy duty, huge one like a lot of folks do, which is good. I just don't have the means to do that, but I do a small one. But I always remember in the fall we get a little dry spell. I say little, it's always a dry spell. Sometimes in September it just gets dry, and we've had all this rain and all, but just be prepared to do that, and be prepared to have some water close by, because if you drought, a lot of times the seed is so right there underneath the sand and the dirt, so it's not going to be protected much. So have some access to some water, and maybe have some water left over from all these storms, or to have some water on sale. I also wrote down last night, as an outdoorsman, expect the unexpected, and this week's been a great example of the unexpected on outdoor trips. I think I told you yesterday about my Labor Day trip on the floundering trip, and also offshore trip. Unexpected things happen, but as outdoorsman, you got to be prepared for it. This week, okay, I've had first of all, the motor went out on us. I had a friend that had a flat tire. He was, y'all remember Steve Petty used to come on the show. Steve Petty he's in South Florida now, and he was loaded the boat up, was headed north, and had a flat tire on it. And Steve's an outdoorsman, he's a boater. He's been around boats his whole life, and here he is, he gets a flat tire. It doesn't happen to rookies all the time. It happens to veterans too. And he had a flat tire and all that traffic coming up from South Florida on a trailer. So be prepared for that. I saw a guy, he was getting, again, this was down in South Florida. They were all taking the boats out. He's cranking up his boat, and all of a sudden that strap pop. He has a video of that strap popping. So make sure your boat strap is in good shape, because it can mess you up. Then also, a guy was going fishing this week, and he had some good live bait. And when he got to the spot, all the bait was dead. His little aerator going out. So that happens more times than you think. So as an outdoorsman, we've got to expect the unexpected. And we've talked about it before, but that's just what happened this week to a fellow outdoorsman and myself also. So be aware of that, okay? Okay, now, the other thing I want to talk about, let's go ahead and get ready for our drawing. On these drawings, we've had some people that's been very, very thankful of getting these. I do appreciate that. A lot of times I get an email, or Tarpon Doc get an email, and then up at Sand Hills, people go by and tell them how much you appreciate it. So it's just a win-win situation to give these things away like we do. So I want to continue doing it, and please, y'all are good about showing appreciation, which I appreciate. So here we go. Tarpon Doc Seafood giveaway. We got this would be the $20 gift certificate And I often think about what I would get. A lot of times, I get a lot of fish. I think when I go down there, if I had $20, I'd buy me $20 worth of shrimp. I just love shrimp too, and I don't catch many shrimp. All right, the winner's going to be, that's going to be Johnny Conrad Jr. All right, John, up in the Sand Hills. Okay, I put $20 Johnny in the Sand Hills, and call me when you pick them up, and let me know when you're going to be cooking them. All right, Johnny Conrad Jr. All right, and now this is going to be the winner of the big red snapper. And there's been a lot of red snapper out there. The winner's going to be from Panama City, Graham Jones, one of our loyal viewers. And Graham does a lot of fishing, so he'll probably enjoy that red snapper. Okay, we're going to take our final break and come back with our famous Friday fishing forecast. Welcome back, and welcome to the famous Friday fishing forecast. We're going to take a look at what's going on this weekend, and the storm we sort of going by, staying away from us. We're still going to have a little bit of effect from it, get some wind from it, so just be aware of that. So we're going to start on the eastern end, which is most of the area that's going to be affected will be the eastern end of our viewing area. So keep in mind, you'll be getting that north and northeast wind coming in, and or also north-northwest, so it'll be coming in from the storm. One of the top places, and I mentioned this last week, if you still want to go scalloping, you can still go to Lanark Village over there, and that area right in here, okay, is good scalloping. I mentioned this last week, I just want to mention one more time, and it's going to be good. But really, before I get to the locations, I want to just talk about, I wrote some things down, the fall fishing pattern. We're about to hit fall, and water temperature is dropping a little bit. It dropped a whole lot week before last. It didn't drop much this week, sort of late, to level off, but it's going to drop some next week. What's going on now? The king and Spanish are going to be strong. King and Spanish is going to be strong. The triggerfish, there's a lot of triggerfish out there, and on the weekend now you can keep them in state waters. It's open, and they're good to eat, and a lot of them out there. One thing too, when we're out there this past weekend, a lot of times you see floating objects out there. If you have time, stop and fish around these floating objects. They'll be holding two species they usually hold. That's the mahi-mahi or something. They're around there, or either triple tails. And especially if you're close to shore, there are going to be some triple tails there, and they're fun to catch. So just stop, circle around it, and go back and try to cast something out there in their direction. You can cast a plug, or you can just throw some, if you got a live bait, you can throw some of that, or even a dead cigar minnow, and just get it close to them. But that floating debris now, all outdoorsmen know about that. Also, what's fun to catch while you're out there too, I'm talking about near shore fishing, a bunch of bonita out there. Now, they're not good to eat, but they're fun to catch. And if you're really into natural fly fishing, that's one of the most fun trips you can have. Get on the bow of the boat, especially if it's calm like it has been, this past weekend, Labor Day. It's a little rough right now, but you see those bonita, you can see them all over the place. I mean, they're probably more bonita than anything right now. And they're fun to catch. They fight. Well, they are. Remember the tuna family. I don't know why they don't taste like tuna, but come about this size and all, and they'll fight. And they're a lot of fun to catch. Also, the bull reds, they're starting to migrate, getting up in the bays. The big bull reds are getting really hungry now. They're really getting fattened up. So bull red's going to be good. So those are the things in the fall pattern you just need to be looking at. Okay. So now let's go to some of the locations. Go back to where we were earlier, but I just want you to be aware of that. Seaquarter Marina, we talk to them on a regular basis, and of course, coming out of the river. And remember, those the redfish are going to be really good here. St. George Sound is always good, but here around Carabel, this river here, it's muddy. It's real muddy up in here, but it's good fishing. And then going, I want to mention again, I had mentioned this quite a while, at St. George Island State Park. We're going to get a fall run of Pompano, and that's going to be one of the prime locations. And you can fish from the beach, and it's my understanding you can drive on the beach with a permit here. And that's going to be excellent fall fishing. We're getting ready, especially in the early part of October, about a month away from now. Go ahead and start making your plans. If you like to camp and all, it's hard to go camping. It's hard to get a spot at St. Andrews State Park. It's really hard to go to Grayton Beach and all to get a spot, but you can still get a good spot, usually at St. George Island State Park, and you want to spend a good weekend down there camping and fishing. And then coming on up the island, we talked about this last week about fishing off the old bridge, but there's some spots back here, and if you remember the video we did several years back, if you can get some kayak launching place up in here and then fish off these points, excellent trout fishing. It's deep. There's some deep channels in here, and just find, you know, if you move around in a kayak or a small boat, and you can see some of these spots here are going to be excellent fishing for trout and redfish. And again, bridge fishing, we mentioned this last week. I always talk about bridge fishing, the old bridge here, okay? And then also, if you can get a chance to, you can fish the area all in Apalachicola, but you want a boat to get up in here. And we haven't talked about all these little creeks and rivers, but you got the St. Mark's River, you got the East and all these rivers just follow. These fish are going to be going up in these creeks and all, and it's going to be excellent fishing. You can put in an Abercrombie landing, cut across here, and fish all through these little creeks. A beautiful area, one of a kind area really in Florida. You just don't, Bill Allen and Greg Brudnick and I go there on a regular basis. Lake Wimico. Lake Wimico has been hot. Now, we haven't talked a lot about it. It's been hot. Freshwater and some saltwater fish have been caught in there, okay? And it's an easy place to get to. Depot Creek is going to be good. Depot Creek is going to be good. Right here, you put in White City, and it just has come out. You got some good feeder creeks coming in here. Excellent fishing for Lake Wimico. I'm going to run out of time, folks, if just go on the area. Let's skip St. Joe Bay. I talked about that last week. Let's get on into St. Andrew Bay. Okay. I just talked to the pier. They actually caught a couple of sailfish off the pier, caught some bull reds off the pier this week, and they were caught some Spanish on Sunday and Monday of this week, and a couple of kings. So it's been a decent week off the city pier and the county pier. So pier fishing will be good. Again, it's a little early for surf fishing, but they did also catch some whiting. But they got some the seaweed started coming in and slowed things down. And top water's going to be good. Back up in here, top water will be really good if the grass is on out of here. If the grass is here, it's going to be tough fishing. But actually, the pier fishing been good. San Andreas State Park again will be good. I always mention these state parks. I'm going to run out of time, and I'll try to get this put online for you. But anyway, make sure to just get out and go and check things out. And you have a great weekend. And always do something good for your fellow man. Enjoy the great outdoors. Take your family with you. Take some friends with you, and just enjoy the companionship. Okay, we'll see y'all later. Have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.